we feel like that's one of the biggest things lacking is the soul behind brands and the ability to actually reach out with whether it's paid marketing or content creation or SMS to create an emotional connection with that customer. Because that's at the end what drives sales.
If you have a jewelry business or you're a jewelry maker and you are not using SMS marketing in your online sales strategy, well, I have to tell you, you might be leaving money on the table. So if you're trying to grow your online audience and you'd like to make more sales online, but you're not sure how to really engage with your customers, you are going to love this episode today. I interview Taylor Frame of Focus Funnels, and we talk all things SMS marketing and what's working now to actually grow your sales. So let's dive in just a moment. Before I do, I'm Tracy Matthews. I'm the Chief Visionary Officer of Flourish and Thrive Academy, the host of the Thrive by Design podcast, and I also wrote a best-selling book called The Desire Brand Effect: Stand Out in a Saturated Market with a Timeless Jewelry Brand. And I help jewelry business owners grow to multiple six and seven figures using my methodology. And I'd love to help you do the same. So today on the show, we are in a sprint of talking all about online sales. And if you are someone who wants to get more leads, more sales, more customers, or even more conversions from the people that are already on your current marketing list, then you're going to love today's episode. Taylor Frame is the co-founder of Focus Funnels. They are a digital marketing agency that helps business owners who are running e-commerce grow and scale online to multiple six figures. So without further ado, let's dive in to today's episode with Taylor. I am so excited to have my friend Taylor Frame on the show today. Welcome, Taylor.
Super excited to be here. Thank you so much, Tracy.
So Taylor and I know each other through a business group, and we both won. I just have to give like a little background. We won a prize together, but also we were sitting on a bus and we were talking about ads, and he had his human design read by one of the new people who was attending this event. And what she said about Taylor was that he loves to make people money. And I loved hearing that. And so I had to have Taylor on the show today because he is an e-commerce expert and the CEO of Focus Funnels. And Taylor and I are in a business group together. We also like to hang out on the dance floor all night at these events. And so we both won the Good Times Award, which is basically the fun award at the last event we were at.
Yeah. Out of the event, we were the most fun.
We were the most fun. It was so fun.
And they gave us certificates.
They did.
To show us that we were super fun.
They did. I'm really devastated because I'm blaming it on someone else. Someone sat at my desk at home and they put a highlighter on it. So now there's highlighter on my certificate, which means I'm going to have to win another one of the fun awards.
We got that in the bag. No problem.
Did you win it at the last event that I wasn't at?
I did not.
Ugh.
If they choose me every single time, I think they'd see like there might be some issues with that.
There might be. They're like, you have a favorite.
Yeah, exactly. So they've got to sparse it out, but like I was definitely in the running.
You were.
Yeah.
Okay. 100%. So tell us a little bit about Focus Funnels and your history and all the things.
So I'm one of the co-founders here at Focus Funnels. Focus Funnels is a digital marketing agency. What makes us super unique is that we look at the whole customer journey. Okay. Yeah. So we're talking about what type of creative are you running? How are your ads structured? What type of product or landing page are you sending them to? And then how are you nurturing that client after they come to your site? Mm-hmm. So where a lot of agencies fall off and where a lot of marketing falls apart is they only look at like one piece of that.
Yeah.
They'll be like, oh, we just do copy, or we just do creative, or we just buy ads. But they don't actually look at like the whole customer journey, like the arc of the customer. And that's where we specialize, is we help people understand how do you actually connect human to human with these buyers. And we feel like that's one of the biggest things lacking is the soul behind brands and the ability to actually reach out with whether it's paid marketing or content creation or SMS to create an emotional connection with that customer. Because that's at the end what drives sales.
You're speaking my language right there.
Hell yeah.
Yes. So today we're going to be talking about SMS because Taylor and I were having a conversation. He's like, yeah, we run ads and we're awesome at it. I love making people money. We do all this stuff. But where we really crush it, especially for jewelry companies, is SMS marketing. So why is SMS marketing super important and powerful these days?
So if you think about a traditional sales funnel, okay, and for anybody that doesn't know, a sales funnel is just a fancy word for a customer journey, right?
Yeah.
So at the very top of a sales funnel, you have somebody that's never heard of your brand before. In the middle, maybe they've been exposed to you once or twice. Maybe they've been to their website. And then at the very bottom, they are purchasing from you and they're a loyal customer. So you think 3 stages in the customer journey. So top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel. Okay. What a lot of brands are pretty good at is helping people understand middle of the funnel.
Mm-hmm.
The content that they create, the post that they're doing organically is middle of the funnel. But where brands struggle is I need to get new people into my brand every single day. And then at the very bottom, I need those people to spend some money.
Yeah.
Right? Because we're all in this because one, we're passionate, but it has to pay some money. Otherwise, it doesn't work. Right?
Exactly.
So SMS is phenomenal at middle and bottom of the funnel, getting these people that have shown interest to take that extra step and buy from you, right? So one of the reasons that we're super passionate about this is because a lot of people, have a little bit of traffic to their site. They're starting to get some momentum and engagement with the brand, but there's no revenue.
Yeah.
How do we fix that? Well, that's through better engagement with clients that isn't email, that isn't social, but a little bit more personable, direct to them. That's where text message or SMS marketing comes in.
Okay, awesome. So people come to you. It's not like you could just start an SMS campaign and have it start working. Like you need to get people opted into that SMS campaign and the whole thing kind of like set up in a way that's going to create this, customer journey, as you said. So what are some of the biggest challenges that people have before starting SMS?
So a couple of the challenges that most brands come into is one, they need some traffic, right? If there's nobody going to your website, well, we have nobody to opt into your SMS. So it's going to be really tough to scale that. So we need some traffic, and traffic can be coming from anywhere. It can come from ads. It can come from affiliate partners. It can come from your organic content, right? So the first challenge is we've got to have some traffic to the site. The second challenge is most SMS stuff is very spammy and salesy. And so for our brands, we have to teach them, how do you engage authentically? And we guide them on that because we're so used to getting bad SMS campaigns. Nobody really knows what a good one looks like.
Exactly.
So the second challenge is, after we solve the traffic problem, is we summon and we teach brands, how do you be authentic in the SMS journey? And how do you add value to somebody's lives? Because that's going to keep them coming back every time and not unsubscribing right off the bat.
That's good feedback. So what are some of the ways that you add value?
So this is a little bit of some of the strategy that we apply for all of our clients. So just for anyone listening, we do fully managed services on SMS, but it's about giving value, and value can be a couple different ways. This can be, hey, let me show you 3 tips on how to layer your jewelry, or let me show you why this metal is better than this metal, or hey, let me show you the back end of how we custom design our jewelry and why it's unique, right? So it's about, and value can be solving a problem. Value can be adding a smile to somebody's day. It can be something funny. Value can also be educating the client on why your product is superior to the others on the market. So we typically have a little formula. We do value, value, ask. Value, value, ask. So we want to offer a couple pieces of value. And then after they've leaned into it and be like, oh my gosh, I didn't actually know that I could layer my earrings this way on my ear. That's really cool.
Yep.
Then we say, hey, if you think this is cool, we actually sell these earrings. Would you want to buy them?
I have some layered earrings on my ears right now.
You look amazing. Right? So It's value, value, ask. And that's how you create authenticity, because you're leading with something that they actually want to hear instead of being like, hey, buy my jewelry. Nobody likes that.
There's a balance, I think, sometimes too, in adding too much value where people are like afraid to go for the ask. So how do you kind of counter that and like deliver value, but also maybe get some sales from the value while you're doing the value, value ask?
Yes, yes, that's a very good question. So this is where a lot of our strategy and expertise comes in, because it is a little bit of a fine line to walk. But the biggest piece here is that when you're sending somebody, because an SMS comes through as a text message, right?
Yeah.
And there's two types of messages. You can send an SMS or an MMS. MMS stands for multimedia message, which usually
Okay.
has like a video or a picture or something like that. Okay.
Yeah.
And just for everyone listening, SMS is about, 1 to 5 cents to send. An MMS, or a multimedia message, is usually 2 or 3 times the cost to send.
Oh, so like
It's
15 cents.
it's way more expensive, right? But what we found is that SMS converts way better.
Oh, really? Without the
Yes.
videos and I'm
Yes.
surprised. How
Because
come?
when you get the picture or the video, you feel like you have the whole story.
Oh, you want people clicking through.
You want people clicking through, right?
Brilliant. I didn't even think of
So
that.
so not only can we reduce the cost by just sending SMS and not multimedia messages, not MMS, okay? But we're bringing them where we have them click to is super important. So if I say, hey, here's 3 tips on how to style your jewelry, then that page you take me to needs to outlay the 3 tips, but there needs to be subtle asks in there to buy the jewelry.
Yeah, so would it be like a blog post or just a landing page, or what would you send them to? Like a
You can
video,
structure it
styling video?
totally. You can structure it in 1,000 different ways, right? This is where it gets really fun and creative. It can be the founder walking them through, hey, here's how I layer my jewelry on like a video that's embedded on a page. And below you have clicks. So like, here's the jewelry that I'm selling,
Mm-hmm.
right? It can be as simple as that. If you want to be a little more advanced, it can be a blog with calls to action to purchase the jewelry that you're calling out, right? So that's how we go that value, value, ask type methodology. Those are a couple ways to execute on that.
So what are some of the favorite asks that you have?
I think the favorite one in the jewelry space is either educate me on why your stuff is different or unique.
Mm-hmm.
Show me how I need to be styling it and wearing it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then I think the last one is helping you understand, like, what am I going to get when I wear your jewelry? Describe to me, because everything that we make is for the most part an emotional decision.
Yes.
So when I put on your jewelry, how am I going to feel?
Yeah.
Right? Like, talk to me about that. And so that's value, because a lot of people buy things because they're looking for an ideal outcome, whether they want to feel better or look better, or they want their girlfriends or their significant others to say, oh, I love that on you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe even on the male side, like, they're getting into jewelry. They want to accessorize, like, teach me how to do that.
Yep.
Like, what kind of rings could a man pull off, or bracelets, or whatever the case may be, right? So think
Are you a
about,
jewelry wearer?
I have some bracelets on, but like, I wouldn't call them jewelry. Half of
I
them my kids
interrupted you
make.
in the middle of that. What were your thought? Complete your thought.
Yeah. So when you think about the value, it's, how can I help you in your day? Okay. Have you ever been to dinner and the person you're with just talks about themselves the whole time?
Oh, it's annoying.
Like, how fast do you tune out?
Yeah.
Like, instantly.
Yeah.
Brands do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, me, 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 me. And it, like, after 5 minutes, you're like, I'm sick of this brand. But
Yeah.
when we actually talk to the consumer, being like, hey, here's what you're going to get. Here's why you should care why I'm building this jewelry. Here's why this is, unique or lasts longer or is really price value, right? When we talk about what the consumer is going to get, then we get much more interaction. And those are good examples of value.
Mm-hmm. So if someone wanted like to try and replicate this value ask thing in the ask section, what are some of the things that you've seen really work well for getting people to click and buy?
Yeah. Yeah. So if you're going with just an SMS, like you want to do like 1 or 2 SMS that are pure value, taking them to a value page. And on that value page, you want to have some sort of upsell or opportunity for them to buy something, right? That's the first thing that's super good.
Mhm.
But you can do like 2 SMSs that are value add. And then the third one, you can say, hey, here's a direct link to purchase this stuff that I've been teaching you about, right?
Yep.
So you can give them a little bit of value and then take them right to a place where they can purchase. And if you do that right, that usually works pretty well. Like people
So
see
if you
that.
rotated, like if you did like, okay, here's like how to layer necklaces, and then you had another post like the best necklace length for your neck size or something like that. And then you're like, here are the chains available for sale in the next one.
Totally. That's like a perfect example.
Okay, cool.
And
Yeah.
you'd send that campaign over like a day and a half. So you'd send one in the morning, maybe one in the evening. Then the next day you'd hit them with, hey, here's the chains that you
Mm,
can buy,
okay,
direct link.
cool.
And you should probably still have those chains in the blog posts or in the videos that
Yes.
you're sending them to. But yes, that's a perfect example of a really solid campaign.
So have you seen this work for like more expensive jewelry or like fine jewelry or custom jewelry? Like what would be a way to weave that in?
Yeah, that's a really good one. So the minute we start getting into higher price points, most people want to have some sort of connection or relationship with the jeweler.
Hmm.
So now your SMS probably needs to be pushing towards a consultation
Hmm.
or a sales call
Hmm.
or, hey, design your dream piece of jewelry with us, right? It needs
Yes.
to be pushing towards some sort of person-to-person engagement where I can meet you, learn about what you do, and then design my perfect whatever, ring, brooch, necklace. And
Brooch.
then, yeah, a
I'm sorry
brooch.
that I'm laughing. I don't think anyone buys brooches
Well,
except for
everyone,
grandmas.
yeah, I'm surprised. It's a huge brooch market. We're going really bullish on brooches. I don't know why that came up.
Oh, good times.
So if you're going above it, like that higher price point, you're going to need to have that person to person connection, especially if you're a small brand and there's not a lot of social proof behind what you're doing.
Yeah, that's great feedback. No, I actually reached out to you because we had someone reach out to us. They're a really challenging market for us. I'll just keep this anonymous, but the guy had a really successful like eBay business for a long time, and they positioned themselves as like basically the lowest end of the barrel for discount engagement rings with, I can't remember that, what do they call it, but it's basically like they take the diamonds and like take really poor quality diamonds and like fill them with stuff so that it improves something enhanced, like clarity enhanced diamonds. And he was really having a hard time with online shopping. You gave me some really good advice about that. Like, what would you recommend to people who are trying to like position themselves as like the lower end of a high end market where the people who are buying that product actually don't have a lot of money to spend?
Yeah. Yes. So with that type of thing, you have to have them understand the core problem you're fixing, right? So for that specific example, the core problem he's solving is he's allowing someone with a smaller budget to get a much value, like a much higher priced ring that's going to appear more expensive for a lower cost. That's great, right? So we need to lean into that messaging. So
Yeah.
for an individual like that, he needs a couple things. The first thing he needs is a decent amount of videos and testimonials showing people that this is not a scam.
Okay. Yeah.
You have to show that this is a real thing. So you need video testimonials, you need lots of content on your website and on your socials showing the product and helping people understand that this is not a scam, because when something sounds too good to be true, most of the times it is,
Yeah.
right? So that's the first thing. He's got to get over this hump that people are going to get scammed. The second thing is that if they're spending over $2,000, I would be pushing for some sort of consultation call.
Yeah.
And here's why. At the beginning, we have to do things that do not scale.
I know.
right? And that's just how it works. Like at the beginning, when I started focus funnels, I would go meet every single client. Even if I had to drive a day and a half, I would go do it because I needed the money and I needed to grow the business. And that person to person would make sure that I closed that deal.
Yep.
So at the beginning, as business owners, a lot of times we have to do stuff that does not scale until we get to the point that we can build systems and processes to scale, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So at the start, look, if you have to book sales calls and talk to 10 people a day, but you close 5 of those sales calls, heck, you've got an
Yeah.
amazing opportunity there.
Exactly.
So that's what I would do if I was in his shoes, is content, sales.
The other thing that I think that I thought was really important from that conversation too, is that understanding your customers, like for someone who, this is why I always say like never compete for the lowest price point, because for someone who has very little to spend, that might be their only $5,000 that they have, and they want to make that $5,000 go as far as they can. So you said like for someone who is super wealthy, like spending $5,000 is like spending $1. And they're not even going to think about it. And if you're marketing to people who, so on like a really, this is like the cheesiest word, but a highfalutin website or a highfalutin brand, like a $5,000 piece of jewelry isn't going to really be a drop in the bucket for someone who's super wealthy. But for someone who doesn't have the money and they're like living paycheck to paycheck and they barely have cash to spend, like every single dollar that they spend, they want to make sure that they're getting the best value for that. And so this is really important to all of you who are trying to understand how you market to people. If you're trying to create things that are affordable luxury, you're always going to run into that problem.
Yep.
Right?
100%.
Little bit off the SMS conversation, but also important marketing lesson.
But it's totally tied in.
Yeah.
Because if you're in front of me consistently, like let's say we're talking about this discount engagement ring company. If you're sending me SMSs, once a week for 2 or 3 weeks and adding value to me and educating me, you're creating a gap between your competitors.
Yep.
And you're staying top of mind with me. And if I'm a super busy person and I've got to spend $5,000 and it's the only $5,000 I have, and you've spent the time to engage with me, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to spend my money with you.
Yep.
Right. So that's where the SMS comes in, is adding the value, educating, helping create distance between you and your competitors. So they're like, oh my gosh, I do only have $5,000. I really want a really impressive ring for my significant other. Yes, I'm going to make that investment with you because you actually took the time to care about me.
I love it.
So that's SMS.
I love it. Okay. So for someone who's just getting started out on SMS, what are the 3 most important SMS flows or sequences that they need to have set up from the get-go?
Yeah. So there's a couple things. Number one, you need an opt-in flow. This is called a welcome series. An opt-in flow or a welcome series is a chance, just like if you're going to get coffee for someone, what are you about? What do you do? What do you build? Right? It's kind of like a get to know me type thing. And on your welcome series, you want to have a couple things that maybe take you to the About Us page, maybe educate people about the type of jewelry you're building, why you're unique, why you're cool, and then maybe 1 or 2 opportunities to sell them on something. Okay, so that's the number one flow you have to have, is your welcome sequence or your opening sequence, and that's based on an opt-in off of your website somewhere. Okay, that's the first one. The second one you need to have is an abandoned cart.
Yep.
Okay, this is somebody that comes in, adds something to the shopping cart, doesn't actually buy. Well, that person was like right when you think about that funnel. We have top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom. They were right at the edge at bottom of funnel. We just need something to push them over. So sometimes that's as easy as a 10% discount code.
Yeah.
Right. Sometimes it's easy as saying, hey, I know you're considering this purchase. It's a big purchase. Here's why you should make this purchase. Maybe it's custom, or we use much finer metals, or whatever your differentiation is, right? Send that to them. They'd be like, oh, actually, I didn't know that about your brand. Purchase, right? So the second one you have to have in place is abandoned cart, okay? The third one that you have to have in place is a win back sequence. Okay.
Yeah.
And this means somebody that hasn't bought from your store in 30 to 60 days. Okay. So they've been a customer. They haven't bought anything in 1 to 2 months. Send them something of value. Start to engage with them again. And that's an automated one, right? So once you set up all these things, these just run in the background.
Yeah.
And so,
okay. So can these mirror like what you're doing in your email sequence, just being shorter? Or like, how would you do that?
you really want to kind of, they're two pretty different strategies, because think about how people, so email is like a social feed. People flow through it,
Yep.
right? Even if they don't open it, they're like, oh yeah, that's cool that their brand is doing that. And then they delete it, you know? SMS, it has like a 90% open rate, and it has like a 60% click-through rate. So everyone sees these messages. So you want to keep that in mind when you're crafting the messages and making the hooks to bring people into your site. It's way more engaging than email. So the strategy has to be a little bit different,
Yep.
but similar.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So those are the 3 strategies you have to have in place.
I love that. Okay. So as we're wrapping this up, this has been awesome. Taylor's going to be a trainer in our Train Your Customers to Buy From You Online program. I'm super excited about it. He's going to be teaching all about SMS, and we might be having him teach more stuff, but that more will be revealed. So I hope that, I mean, he to me is like such a clear, the way that you communicate is so clear that I think this is going to be an awesome opportunity for people to learn more about how they can up-level their SMS marketing. So we're excited to have you. But beyond that, where can everyone find you?
Yeah, so we'll link a landing page on our website that talks all about our SMS program. And one of the cool things about SMS you guys should consider is it's a really low-cost way to get into nurture marketing and to get more sales out of your brand. One of the things that we do is we offer a fully set up and customized service for you. So you don't have to lift a finger. We come in and do all the work for you. And then it's an ongoing thing where we continue to help you monetize your store. So yeah, we'll put a link in the description. You can jump. You can also check out focusfunnels.com. So focusfunnels.com, and you'll find us there, and we'd be happy to connect with anyone. So thank you so much.
Yay, thanks for being here today. Thank you so much for watching the show today. I hope that you enjoyed it. We are open for enrollment really soon for our Train Your Customers to Buy From You online program. So if you're interested in learning more about that program and working with Taylor in that program to get your SMS up and running, then head on over to flourishthriveacademy.com/TYC and get on the wait list for the TYC. This is Tracy Matthews signing off. Until next time.